Good evening, everybody. Monday morning quarterback episode 144, I believe. And happy to be here with you. Sorry if I'm a bit scratchy. I'm a little under the weather, but wanted to come live with you. We haven't done a live in a few weeks. Been doing a lot of traveling out west for some races, and indoor season is upon us. And so been working really hard getting ready for this week, which is a big week for us, PRI. And then that leads right into a bunch of indoor races, Christmas, Little 500 at New Smyrna, Tulsa Shootout, Chili Bowl. And then before we know it, a lot of guys will be headed to Florida for the start of the outdoor sprint car season. So I wanted to go live with you tonight, give you guys a sneak peek of some of the stuff that we're going to be unveiling at PRI this week, and talk to you a little bit about some of the things you shouldn't miss if you're in town for the Performance Racing Industry Trade Show, which starts on Thursday in Indianapolis. So if you have tech questions tonight, fire away. More than happy to answer those. That's what we're here for, and that's what this show's for, but we're going to do a little bit of a special tonight. So the first thing that you should not miss would be our open house, and that is going to take place on Friday night here at our new facility. So you don't want to miss the open house. We're going to have food, drinks, goodie bags for everybody that shows up. We have a bunch of cool giveaways, an MPI steering wheel, some chalk sticks, torsion bars, apparel, a bunch of cool stuff to give away. And not only is it us, but Excalibur Graphics, which is in our new complex, and Sharp Advantage safety products. So that will be something cool to do on Friday night from 6 to 10. Again, we're about 15 minutes from downtown out in Brownsburg, and we have the event being catered by Rusted Silo, which is a local barbecue guy, and his food is phenomenal. So you won't want to miss that on Friday night. Some other cool things to do while you're in town for PRI. Obviously, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum is super cool. They change their exhibits quarterly, so even if you've been there before, a lot of cool things to see there, and that's a short drive from downtown. While you're in Speedway, there's a bunch of good food in that area. Big Woods, which is pizza, burgers, and stuff like that. It's really good. One of my favorite Mexican places in Indiana, there's not a lot of great Mexican in Indiana, is right there on Speedway. It's called Tacos and Tequila. They've had some great, authentic Mexican tacos. And then, of course, while you're down there, you got to hit Speedway Indoor Karting, which has a really fun slick track and multi-level road course. So they're racers and help support Sarah and Andy while you're in town. If you're staying down by the convention center, make reservations as quickly as possible because it gets really, really booked up. So everybody wants to go to St. Elmo's, world famous steakhouse from like the late 1800s, I believe, and it is awesome. Their sister restaurant's right next door to it, Harry and Izzy's. Same great steaks as St. Elmo's, but they have some more variety, some pasta dishes and stuff. If you can't get into either of those places, the next best thing I'll recommend to you is Tony's Seafood and Steak. The steaks there are phenomenal. I took Maggie there for our 10-year anniversary just last month, and we thoroughly enjoyed our meal there. So a lot of good food in our area, and a lot of race shops to see. So if you're going to spend a day or an afternoon away from the trade show, if you're out here in Brownsburg, maybe you're going to come out early for our open house. There's a bunch of drag race shops out here, some sprint car teams that I'm sure will be open on Friday. And a lot of the IndyCar shops are up on the north side. Ray Hall's IndyCar team is out here in Brownsburg, but most of the IndyCar shops are on the north side. So, of course, while you're at PRI, there's going to be tons of cool, shiny new things to see. We are booth 3639, and you can see CSI stuff there. Pit Boss Jack's there. Kevin and Chance will be there discussing Pit Logic and some of the cool new releases we have for Pit Logic. If you didn't catch our EPAR trade tech, excuse me, our tech series last week where we broke down some of the new features, that's really cool. So definitely go see those guys. Steve Fox will be in the booth taking care of all the steering questions and steering rebuilds, and if you have any questions about that part of the business. And Dave Sharpley's going to have a little area there in our booth. And then, of course, you'll want to come see Tyler Courtney's championship winning car. That's going to be in our booth as well. So one of the things we're really excited about for 2022 is a new racer contingency program that we're going to roll out. So we get tons and tons of requests for sponsorships. And it's very difficult as a small business to sponsor everybody, right? And who do you decide who you're going to sponsor and who you're not? Obviously, we have programs with some of our higher level professional teams, and most of those, it's a very two-way street, right? We're giving them discounts on products, and they're really helping us with tech support and developing those products and taking them to the next level for the entry-level guys. So the CSI Cash program, it got its inspiration from the motocross stuff. I see like Yamaha has Yamaha bucks, and it's a great way to earn real cash. So when the trade show kicks off on Thursday, you'll be able to go to our website and you'll see it there. Very easy, probably less than 60 seconds to register. And that's really all you have to do right out of the rip is register. Anybody that registers from the time PRI starts till January 1, we're going to throw your name in a hat. We'll pull the name live and we're going to buy you a CSI suit, custom CSI suit. I'll have your name on it, everything. Gosh, excuse me. Once you are registered for CSI Cash, you will need to submit your results if you finish in the top 3. So we have it broke down by different levels. Level 1 being a club or a regional race, and level 4 being a big national race. So we'll determine what level of race you were at. And as level 4 races are coming up, we'll let everybody know, hey, a level 4 race this weekend. So you'll submit your results. Again, it's going to take less than 60 seconds to submit your result. A real simple form we have, then we will get it. You're going to earn real cash for your finish results. First, second, or third is what we're paying back to. And if you're not finishing on the podium, there's still ways for you to earn CSI Cash. So, excuse me, sharing our social media posts, that can earn you CSI Cash, and then also making posts about your racing, tagging our products that meet certain criteria, that can earn you CSI Cash as well. Kind of coughing in. What is CSI Cash good for? So again, those of you who just tuned in, I'm going to show this again. CSI Cash is good for 100% towards the purchase price of apparel, 50% on new shocks or repairs, and 25% off any CSI accessory. So if you're eyeing a new pair of shocks that's $2,000 and you've saved $1,000 worth of CSI Cash throughout the year, you can essentially take $1,000 off your bill. If you got a shock repair that's $400 and you got $200 in CSI Cash, take $200 right off your bill. So we're going to keep track of the CSI Cash. We're going to post it on the website on the CSI Cash part. We'll have a posting of maybe the top 20 or so CSI Cash earners. And this is for the driver. So we're really focused on our grassroots entry-level quarter midgets, micros, midget sprint cars. So not really your professional teams. They can participate for sure, but really focused on the entry-level guys. And so it's the money's earned by the driver. And so a driver can't earn the money and the car owner, right? You can't double dip, but it's for the driver. And a great way to earn. And we ran some numbers off of what some of our local guys have done through the year. And it's going to be fairly, if you're a front runner, you could knock down $1,000 fairly easy. And again, 100% off of apparel, 50% on new shocks or repairs, 25% on accessories. So we're really, really excited about that program. And sorry, I was making sure I wasn't missing any questions. So that's one cool new thing. You'll be able to register for that this week. You'll get a confirmation once you're registered, and all the information you'll need to know is there. So virtually any race that has 10 cars or more in your class qualifies, any race, and top 3 is what we're paying back, and a good way to earn some money, to save you some money next year for your race program. So Also come by. We've got some new things in the works. We're working on some new shocks that we're going to really roll out in the spring of 2022. But we'll be able to show those things to you and discuss that with you. We have a big Peninsula booth, so stop by and see us. If you're in town and you need to drop something off, we're here till 6 o'clock on Thursday night and 4 o'clock on Friday. But then you could drop it off during the open house as well. And the open house is from 6 to 10 on Friday. So if you had shocks, torsion bars, steering gears, whatever to drop off to get serviced, you can do that at the open house or until 6 o'clock on Thursday. Can't drop it off at the booth. We really have nowhere to store the stuff safely. So really we need to drop it off at our shop. Again, if you're here to pick stuff up, you'd have to do it here at the shop. We can't really take stuff to the booth for pickup unless it's something real small. Does anybody have any tech questions tonight or Indy area questions? I moved here to Indy, almost 20 years ago. So I know the do's and don'ts and the good spots and the bad spots here in Indy for sure. I didn't get my girlish figure by not experiencing the fine dining we have here in Indiana. We'll be back in a couple weeks with a Monday morning quarterback tech segment we're working on. Behind the scenes, we're also working on, for our quarter midget customers, we're documenting the whole build of Hudson's new cars, but really just one car for next year. So we're going to do everything from anodizing to the powder coating to how we put it back together, why we do what we do. So we're going to show you every step of that, and that'll be a cool YouTube video that will break down into segments, how to build the front end, how to build the rear end, how to prep the engine, what we do to the bearings, all that stuff. So from bare frame and beautiful body that RJ Johnson hung to ready to hit the racetrack. So that's something we'll be working on throughout the winter. We will have our shock trailer at the Tulsa Shootout and the Chili Bowl. Our shock rental program is in effect. And the deadline for shock rentals for the Shootout, we would need to know that by next Friday. And then the deadline for Chili Bowl is the 31st of December. So if you want to rent a set of shocks, you maybe got a one-off ride or driving somebody's car that doesn't have a nice set of shocks, you can rent your shocks. If you decide to purchase them, we take the rental fee right off the purchase price, and it's $350 to rent a brand new set. And then obviously we're there for tech support. So John Conrad, how do you feel about a 10-pound split right to left on quarter midget spring choice? Do you mean left front to right front? Typically, you run a much stiffer left rear spring than a right rear, unless you're, which I know you're not, but unless you get to heavy classes. But for what you're doing, indoors, I would probably start with 100 left front, a 105 right rear, a 105 right front, 105 right rear, and probably like a 125, 130 left rear for a flat track, which indoors was weird. It had low grip in the heats and a lot of grip in the features. I gave poor Hudson a piece of junk to drive all day, but he rose to the occasion and did pretty good with it. But we were too free in the heats and way too tight in the features. So, but typically I would run there with my flat track spring setup. The biggest difference being really increasing left side weight, solid left side Nerf bar, and then getting that left side low, come a main time on the tracks, really rubbered up. So space the right side tires out when it gets really rubbered up like that. Man, I think in the junior animal feature, if any kid could have had their car not biking, they could have won by a mile. All the kids were really almost coasting through the corners because the track had tightened up so much. Everybody was too tight. So anybody else has any questions, feel free to fire away. Again, PRI show this week. If you don't see us there, we will be at the Tulsa Shootout and the Chili Bowl. I don't believe we're going to Fort Wayne or Columbus. or DeCoin. That's right into Christmas, and we need to kind of give everybody a break, myself included. And then I'll be at New Smyrna, and then flying from New Smyrna to Shootout, and then Chili Bowl, and then haven't really outlaid what we're doing for Florida to start the year yet. But Scott, adjustable front shock mounts. What are the downfalls of topping my front shocks out too early? You top your front shocks out too early, you're going to lose forward drive. So once they top out, it can't keep really going up to push the back down. So if it tops out really quick, you can lose forward drive. At a certain point when that tops out, it can give you forward drive. But if they're too high, say they only have an inch of up travel, and as soon as you get on the gas, they top out, the car will probably spin the tires and sit right there. So typically we like to see the front shocks top out a half of an inch to an inch before the axle hits the frame, and we want it to be fairly even. So we don't want one topping out when you don't want the left front side of the axle an inch above the frame and the right front a quarter of an inch, because then when they do top out, the car won't drive straight. It'll pull one way or the other. So you want to make sure that they top out at about the same time. So good question, though. All righty. Well, I'm going to go home and take some cough medicine so I don't cough all over everybody at PRI this week. We hope you guys all have a great week. Thanks for tuning in. Again, don't forget to sign up for Csi Cash. Even if you're never to land on the podium next year, you could potentially win a free fire suit. We're going to take the top 3 earners next year and buy them fire suits as well. So, again, just trying to give back to our grassroots racers. So, all right, guys, have a great week, and hope to see you at PRI or our open house. Thank you.